How would you help someone who's trying to find their calling and their dream job, but they just don't know what it is?
So the quickest hack for this...
There's a hack?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, please share. Hello! Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to our show. It's called Sit Back with Sonia, where we dish out hot takes and completely overshare. It's going to be a very special episode because I feel like I'm going to learn so much from this as well. Let's head over, shall we? Let's go! So our guest today is a performance coach who has worked with multiple MNCs, huge clients, and you must have seen his TikToks before. Please welcome Jason O.
Hi, hello.
Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for making the time to join us here today. And we were just having this separate conversation outside about how you kind of struck it with TikTok unexpectedly.
I tried different things on TikTok and nothing really flew then.
Hold on, different things meaning, do you do the dances and all
so
the
I did
trends?
like Renegade and all.
No, did you? I can't imagine.
It was so bad. So if you look at my TikTok, the first few, it was all fail.
You didn't archive it, huh?
Didn't archive it because I wanted people to know that if you go through this path of being a content creator, you need to try shit.
Yeah.
And you need to try and fail, and it's okay. And 500 views is fine.
Yeah.
So I tried many things, and after a while I realized that, hey, actually, just me sitting in the car, sharing about my experience worked.
Yeah.
And then I just did that, and then kind of just blew up. Now I
Yeah.
have around 61,000 followers.
Yeah. Well, building a following from scratch, especially on a platform like TikTok, is not the easiest thing. So it is something that you should be proud of. And it's helpful to your business right now as well, I'm very sure, right?
Yeah.
So before we dive into everything, how did you even get here to be a performance coach?
My journey, since around 18, I've tried many different things.
Yeah.
So I tried actually 32 different jobs and businesses in my life.
Which
and
blew my mind, by the way. 32 jobs. We'll get to that.
just randomly trying different things.
Yeah.
And I realized that there was one theme that never went away. It was like, how do people succeed in the quickest possible way? And what is it about happiness and purpose? And when you link that, that's actually performance. And sustained performance is really, you have a passion for it and you're performing at a high level. So after I did many different things, I got certified in a profiling tool, and that helped me to focus on this thing called strengths rather than weaknesses or anything else. And when I did that, then I realized that, okay, people need coaching, teams need coaching, people need coaching about what is the best things about them.
There are a lot of people who claim that they're performance coaches out there, and sometimes with all the noise on social media, I don't know where to look, right?
Yeah.
So how would you say you found that confidence to say, okay, I can help you?
Within performance coaching, there's one specific part about strengths-based approach. The strengths-based approach helps to understand that actually all of us have an innate wiring, and if you don't know that wiring, you will never perform at your best.
Yeah.
And what I realized was there's a huge gap when it comes to coaching where people don't even know how they're wired. I realized that through coaching different teams and individuals, that their performance increases, and they're like, oh, now I feel more alive doing my job. Now I know of all the 10 things I do, these 3 are the things that I really should be focusing on. So using that, I think that I'm able to call myself a performance coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's a great way to break it down, because sometimes when people start on this journey, they need to be willing to also be open to all these the advice that you're dishing out, or they need to be open to improving as well, right? When you brought up the fact that you did 32 jobs, I need to focus on that for a little bit. Take us through. I'm mind blown. 32 jobs. You know what job I'm on right now? This is like my first job.
So you're lucky. Some people, like my wife, is like, oh, I want to be a teacher. She became a teacher. So first one, right? People like me, I need to find it. So there are some people who go through work knowing that it's just work, but nothing to do with who they are in their life, and they're able to segregate that. I'm not able to do that. And that's why it's almost like a blessing and a curse for me. It's like I have to find it. So I was doing odd jobs, like, I was in Takashimaya blowing balloons. Then I was a financial advisor last time. Last time we had newspapers.
Yeah.
Then you will try to find like different self-help things. So I was always going for that. I was always trying to improve myself and trying to like, this person's in town, let's go for it. It's just that need to, how do I succeed the fastest? But then when I do that job, why doesn't it feel good,
Yeah. I just wonder, sometimes I hear of friends job hopping, but some people do stay with a company for a long time. Do you think job hopping is sometimes seen as negative?
So as an employer, you always look for stability, and job hopping doesn't give that. However, for an individual's discovery, you should job hop. If you don't job hop, you think that this is really it after the first one or the second one, I think you're going to shortchange yourself because there are many other things that you have never tried. If you've never tried durian in your life, and I describe how durian is, you will never understand until you try it.
Yeah.
I feel that there's also a spectrum. Some people really need to, I can't take it. I thought this is it, but it's not, I need to jump. Some people, they can sustain there and they can segregate a job and their life. But in general, yes, job hopping is deemed as negative, but as a personal development growth journey, you should.
No, I've always pondered about this, and not to turn this into a therapy session, but sometimes when I chat with my friends in my friend group, some of them do say, I hate my job, but I just do it anyway because I can just like clock off, I knock off, and then just go and enjoy my life after. So I don't really care what I do. But I could never come to terms with that because I cannot spend 8-9 hours a day doing something that I don't have any passion for.
But some people can. And then once they take on things like responsibility of family and house and all that, then they dig a deeper hole where they can't climb up. And after a while, you just realize that you're 10 years, then just might as well stay. Nowadays, there's a closer and closer proximity towards my job and my life must be together. Last time, it's all kind of separate.
So speaking of comparing then and now, one of the hotly talked about topics right now, university graduates' pay.
Yeah.
Do you think that uni graduates now are expecting too much?
I think that based on the big ticket items in your life, most of us that we think that success is owning a house. Because of the huge inflation, I think it's right to start to ask more. Yeah, because it's just, you can't.
So it's relative.
Yeah, it's relative to last time. You buy a house for like a landed would be 600,000.
Right.
Now it's 5 mil.
Yeah.
So I think it's right. It's right to start to ask more, and that's normal.
So how much would you think is a reasonable amount to start with now?
I would think around 4 to 5. Different industries are really very different.
Yes.
Extremely different. So you go to finance and all that, it's high. Your increment and the jumps in salary in the next 3, 5, 7 years.
Yeah.
Exponentially different based on industries as well.
Well, at this point, I want to get our audience to participate a little bit. So my question is, do you think that you're being paid enough at this point in time of your life? No? Yes? Majority of you said no. I mean, look, it is also subjective with your lifestyle, right?
Exactly.
Like what you want to achieve.
I think now the younger generation also sees it as, so many people my age are like, so young you can be a leader of a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
Then I'm the same age.
Yeah.
So the comparison now is so much different.
Yeah.
So people most of the time will think that I'm not paid enough.
Yeah, and it's interesting you brought up comparison because in a lot of episodes we talk about, do you compare yourself on social media or people generally, especially in my industry as well, that comparison truly can destroy you. But what about comparison amongst friends?
Yeah, so I think human nature, we always benchmark success. And sometimes it's the idea that we don't know what success is to ourselves. So if we don't know what success, just borrow somebody else's definition. Oh, a car is a success. Okay, so how come I don't have one yet? Comparison is the thief of
Happiness.
joy.
Yeah, joy.
Yeah, and the more you compare, the more you don't see all the different mountains that a person's life has. You got health, you got your relationships, you got wealth, you got your family. They may be really good in this, but they have no health. And I think social media does play a part about that, where it's easier to compare because we brag about what we have, but we never brag about what, I just had a heart failure. Nobody's going to.
One that escalated, but okay.
I think gratitude helps to overcome all these things. The more you have gratitude, the more you will feel that you are so rich.
And have you personally had any experiences with this amongst your group of friends?
I think it's a subtle thing. You always compare. You always, this person has this person has this. And I always check myself because if you don't check yourself, you're playing somebody else's game. So I check myself by being grateful, and I check myself by what's really success.
Just at this point, I think some of our viewers who are watching this right now might be wondering as well, how would you help someone who's trying to find their calling and their dream job, but they just don't know what it is?
So the quickest hack for this...
There's a hack?
Yeah.
Okay, please share.
Usually as an adult, we push away this thing called emotions. When it comes to work, leave your emotions out because let's be professional, it's not how you feel.
Yeah.
The hack is the total opposite. How you feel matters 100%. Like when you do a certain task, or when you think about a certain job, think about this whole idea of an energy ruler from scale of 0 to 10. 10 being that you feel energized doing that. 0 meaning you feel drained. How energized are you when you are doing that task? If it's a high number like 8, 9, that's something that you should explore even more. If it's a low number, 1, 2, you should start to find ways that you do less and less of that through your different careers or through your life. And the very interesting thing is that sometimes you might be drained doing something, but the world tells you that that is your strength.
And you don't necessarily enjoy it.
You don't enjoy it, you don't look forward to it, but the world, your boss, the market, and your colleagues will say that, hey, Sonia, that's your strength. But it's not your strength. That's a learned competency. We go into work throwing away this whole ruler or emotions, and then we just go by competency. If you're good at doing something, that must be your strength. If you're bad at doing something, that's your weakness.
So based on your coaching experience, with multiple clients, and you've done work with so many big companies as well, what are some things that you've learned?
When people talk to their boss, without having this framework, the energy ruler, they will never tell their boss that it's draining. Never. They don't have the safety that they feel that I can't tell my boss that, hey, I'm drained doing this. Because the boss will think what? Your dream means what? Oh, bad attitude. You're showing me attitude.
They'll take it wrongly.
They'll take it wrongly because they're not educated on that it's not just do you have competency, but you have that. So when I do this workshop, I realize that, hey, actually, I'm giving them that language to like, these are my strengths. These are the best things about me.
I think people also struggle to try and find that sweet spot between, your pay, your performance, and just trying to find that balance there and your passion as well, like sometimes we have one of 3 maybe, and we don't have all 3 perhaps. So how do you then find that sweet spot? Like finding something that, okay, I accept the pay is decent.
I will start with passion first. Figure out, in any company you are things that you do energizing to you? Do you look forward to it? And then try to go towards that. Because to get pay, which is the last circle, nobody's going to pay you unless you have performance. And you will never hit world-class performance or close to world-class performance if you have no passion about it. I'll say to everybody that always aspire to be world-class in that craft that you have. And if you're world-class, pay will naturally come.
At this point, we do have some questions coming in from our audience members, so I'll pose it to you. What advice would you give to someone just starting out on their career? Is there any seemingly small thing they can start doing now that might make a big difference in my career down the line?
Firstly, be the most hardworking person. Do everything and ask for like, hey, can I do this? Can I do this? Because the more you ask, the more you taste different tasks. And when I say audit yourself, audit whether or not, hey, actually, do I feel life coming out of that? Do I feel energy coming out when I'm doing that task? If I do, audit it down. This on the right row, everything that energizes me. And the left row, everything that drains me. So just continue to audit, and after a few years, you'll be extremely clear that actually a combination of this is going to be what I'm going to do. You need to find what is most natural to you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to move on to the next segment, the last segment, which is personally one of my favorites because even though you're the performance coach and you probably analyze people really well, I'm going to make a drink based on what I feel your personality is.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Yes.
So we're going to do that. So I'm going to head back here to my trusty cart. So I'm going to go with a 0% gin here today because I know you're riding, right?
Riding, yeah.
Okay. I feel like you're quite health conscious.
No.
No, you're not? No, I read the room wrongly. Okay, never mind. You need hydration anyway, right? So I found an interesting one here, coconut water. I decided to go for this gin because in the description, it's a pink berry gin. And it's very fruity and fragrant and tangy, which is like very, well-rounded. Something like you, well-rounded individual, It actually is a little pink.
Oh, wow.
So coconut and pink berry gin, I'm not sure, but we gotta stay hydrated. So I'll put in a little dash of this. I'm gonna have some mint, because you've dished out a lot of fresh takes for us here today. So we'll put some minty fresh mint up in there, okay? Yeah. So you just like kind of do that and put it in there.
Go for it, man.
Okay, last but not least, because this is a berry base, I've got some raspberries here. I'm going to top it off as well with that. And I'm going to put this in. I need to give it a stir. Okay, here you
Thank
go. Cheers, and maybe we would have discovered a brand new cocktail that's really delicious.
Yeah.
Is it me or it just tastes like coconut water?
I can't taste the botanicals.
I can't taste it at all. The only botanicals I'm tasting is from the mint. It's okay. You need to ride safe anyway.
It's
Leonor.
refreshing,
It's
yeah.
refreshing. All right, thank you so much for being here
Most
with us.
welcome.
Cheers again.
Cheers.
If you're watching right now and you enjoyed it, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to be a part of our live audience, please also click the link below and find out how. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, we're going to enjoy this drink.
Enjoy it.
It's very hydrating.
It
that's
is.
for sure.
Pure water.
The juice is all over my hand, by the way. It's not even in the drink at this point. Did I wash my hands just now? I don't know.
It's okay.
Hygiene seems to have been thrown out the window, but I will try anyway.
Start again, yeah.
But you guys don't have a stir today.
Finger lah.
Nice, alright.